Good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm out here cleaning up and getting ready to start actually working with the garden itself. Doing some weeding at the moment, just getting everything cleaned up first, and then I'll get started on the actual garden tasks. That being said, most of this could have and probably should have been done yesterday. Unfortunately, procrastination got the better of me. So Saturday, we spent some time with the family out at the lake again, something similar to what we did a couple weeks ago, and it was once again a much needed break. You actually kind of need to take those from time to time. Yesterday, which was Sunday, really didn't get a whole lot done. I did do a few administrative tasks on the computer. Otherwise, we spent most of the day inside and continued relaxing. Now again, I'm not saying that relaxing is necessarily a bad thing, but when you actually have some tasks, some considerable tasks that need to be done, for example, weeding, it would have been nice to have gotten that done yesterday afternoon. Now, some of the stuff that I need to get done here, I needed to get some parts, and that's mainly with the watering system. So I'm getting the watering system put in place today, so that way we can water these plants a little more efficiently. And we got everything we needed for that yesterday. So that was something that I wasn't going to be able to get done yesterday morning, but cleaning this area up could have. But once again, I didn't, so it's all being done today. So let me go ahead, get finished up with cleaning this area up, because at the end of the day, you need to make sure you have an environment you actually enjoy coming to, an environment that you want to work in. And in my experience, when stuff's a mess, there's just more that needs to be done because of the cleanup side of things. I don't necessarily want to be out here, even though I enjoy being out in the garden. So it's best to just stay on task, get things done. So let me go ahead, finish cleaning up, and then we'll get back to the tasks at hand in the garden. All right, so I think I'm pretty much done with cleaning up, at least for now, at least as much as I want to do right now. There's some stuff in the garden here that needs to be moved around and cleaned up a little bit, so I'm going to get that actually done real quick, and then I'm going to get started on the watering setup. Now keep in mind, as we're going through this, I want to explain what it is that I'm doing, but I actually don't know what I'm doing. I've never set anything like this up before. It's going to let you know what I decided to go with, and when I'm done, we'll find out if it even works. All right, let's go ahead and get started on our watering system. I actually have quite a few transplants that I really need to get into bags, but for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this watering system. I'm running out of time here in the afternoon, so I want to go ahead and get that taken care of, or at least as much of it as possible. I'll worry about the transplants later, because I need to actually figure out how I'm going to do the trellising for the melons, my watermelon and my cantaloupe. Okay, so just a quick breakdown of how we're going to start. I've got this 1/4 inch line here that is essentially going to make a perimeter on the outside of the trellising area. I'm actually going to go a little bit beyond towards the shed over here, just because I do actually have plants that I put over there. So that's going to be the start, and of course the actual water hose will connect to this side, closest to the house. And then I'm just going to have little T's that connect along the wall side, and that's going to have 1/4 inch drip line. It's basically just perforated lines. Each spot's 6 inch apart, and that's going to come down the center here, and those are just going to kind of lay in the bags and provide the watering. Now, because I don't know how the pressure is going to be handled, and going from just a regular garden hose down to a 1/4 inch line, I did go ahead and pick up a regulator, a pressure regulator, and basically what it does is it regulates it to 15 psi. Unfortunately, there was nothing on this that says what type of pressure it can handle, so I figured 15 psi was the lowest regulator I could find. That's the one I'd use. If need be, I can always increase it, or if need be, figure out a different system if that is still too much. We'll find out. Everywhere that has a row of bags, we're going to put in one of these small T's. It's going to allow me to run a drip line straight down this row. And to cut them, all I'm using is just some regular old wire cutters. They work just fine, gives you a good clean cut. I'm just gotta force these little things in here. Just like that. Just like this, and I may end up zip tying these just so that it goes straight down. We'll see how I fasten these. First things first, let's go ahead and go down the line. Now for each of the ends, including that black line, we've got these little plugs here, and all we're going to do is snap this off, and you just plug the end, just like that. So I just got to go through and do all of them now. Now that part is nearly finished. The reason I say nearly finished is I actually ran out of the perforated line, the actual drip lines, watering lines, whatever you want to call them. So I need to run to the hardware store real quick and get some more line. So I'll be right back. All right, so we've got the rest of the lines and we've got them hooked up. Even got lines hooked up for the flower bed. And now for the real trick is I've got to get this connected to a 1/4 inch water line. So here's what I've come up with to get a regular garden hose to connect to a 1/4 inch water line. So the wind's kicking up here, so hopefully it doesn't mess with the sound too much here. So anyway, so I've got pressure regulator to start with. Now this is a 15 psi. I don't know if you can see it, but right here is your flow. So this is where the garden hose comes in, and then of course it comes out here. So we'll start with this little adapter here. I'm actually going to put some Teflon tape on it, and then I have this little adapter here which will connect to the end here, and this goes to that water line. A little update here, my battery died while I was hooking stuff up, so I'm actually not using the regulator. It seemed like I wasn't getting enough pressure to push water through the entire system. So I took the regulator off and just went from the hose to the adapter. And now the drip system, and it is just a drip system, the drip system is working. Now it is just a drip system, so it is going to continue to need some additional watering most likely. So I'm still going to be using the automated sprinkler. I'm actually going to fasten it to this old crate here just to kind of give myself some vertical advantage, I guess you could say, get the sprinkler off the ground. Because one of the issues I've been having is it will start hitting the bags and blocking some of the water. That's why I don't believe some of the stuff is getting watered near as well as others. So I'm going to just take some zip ties. They're actually rated for outside, so I think they'll be able to withstand the summers here. But I'm still going to have to use the sprinkler for the time being, and of course some occasional manual watering. So let's go ahead and finish getting that set up. And there we go. It's not exactly ideal, but of course with the crate it can still be moved around, but it adds some additional stability. As a matter of fact, that's why I had to fill the hole earlier. It's happened a couple times where for whatever reason the pressure coming out of the sprinkler was enough to get it to flip over, and then it just sat there and basically jetted into the ground and dug its own hole. And so I don't want that happening again, and I don't want it just hitting the bags. So this solved that problem. So that kind of handles some of the watering issues that I've had in the past. Again, the drip system, it's going to help a lot. I'll just have it running mostly during the day, just to assist with keeping the plants watered and healthy as the temperatures begin to rise. And that's really going to do it for me today. So thank you for hanging out with me this afternoon and watching me, sweat and work my butt off. And again, thank you for your support. Otherwise, wind's kicking up, so I'm going to get inside. So We'll see you on the next one.